Many people have been complaining about a potential tax raid on millionaires. Is this something that would make you consider leaving the UK or perhaps stop investing here?
No, it isn't. It didn't happen, did it? I think it's a real shame. I think there's a right-wing kind of media storm of the last few weeks to make it difficult for Labour to do sensible things on tax, like a 2% tax on people with £10 million or more in accumulated wealth, would raise £24 billion apparently, would only affect 20,000 people. I mean, that's a fraction of the 60 million people that live here, and there are millions of people that live here and can't afford to feed themselves and their kids and stuff like that. And then you've got people with all of this money who really wouldn't miss 2% of assets over 10 million.
This budget means that an average nurse will be paying a higher rate of income tax than a millionaire. Do you think that Labour could have been more ambitious?
Yeah, well, that was the situation before the budget. I mean, I've been arguing for a long time that actually income derived from investments in property or shares or that kind of stuff, we call that capital gains, so we shouldn't. We should call it income, and it should be tax paid at the rate of income tax. At the moment, a nurse, an average worker, will pay nearly 50% of their earnings in tax, whereas a business will pay 24% of their profit, not their income. And the richer you are, the less you pay. Rishi Sunak's last tax return that we saw before he left office was 20%. He paid 20% tax, and this is the thing that I really want to see happen in our country now under Labour. This is not the only chance they'll have to do that. It's to balance the tax system so that we all pay the same rate of tax on income.
Sorry, to just go back on one point you said there, would you have advocated for putting capital gains at the same rate as income tax?
Yeah, I've been advocating for that for a long time, actually, for a number of years. And I did speak out about that ahead of this budget to try to encourage anybody that would listen, really, but particularly the Chancellor, to think it's okay to do that. Because why is it not? Why, if you make money in your job, should you pay a higher rate of tax up here somewhere compared to if you make money with an investment? A shareholding or a building or something like that. Why? It's income, and it's a gift for people with money. Our tax code was written by people with money for people with money, and we have to change that so that it's more fair.
Farmers are potentially going to be hit by this, by the new inheritance tax levy. So some farmers won't be able to pass on their land now without paying some form of inheritance tax. Do you think that's fair? Would you advocate for people giving up their farmlands?
I wouldn't advocate for people giving up their farms and stuff like that. There'll always be examples when it comes to inheritance tax. When it comes to national insurance for businesses as well, some businesses are saying, we'll have to lay off staff because we can't afford this small increase in the cost of wages. The 6.7% by which the minimum wage is going to go up. Now, some businesses will say the same thing, we can't afford it, but millions of people in our country live on the breadline or below the breadline, even though they work, and that can't be right. Our tax system is wrong.
Looking forward to GB Energy, that's now going to go to the House of Lords. It's just had its third reading. Do you think that Ed Miliband and the party are being ambitious with that project? And if not, what would you advise they do?
I think there are things they could do that they're not yet, as far as I can see, considering to do. Like, for example, have a rooftop revolution. We could put solar panels on, 2/3 of the homes in our country. We could add a battery. We could do energy efficiency installations all at the same time. And we could create a distributed fleet of generators and a balancing plant. And we could give money off energy bills to millions of people. We could start with the rented sector, the public sector in particular, and actually that would be an investment for GB Energy that would pay for itself. So it'd be worth borrowing money to roll out this program. I mean, that's my one example. I've pitched it, and I hope that it grows legs.
Is Nigel Farage ever going to go to Clacton Dale?
I've no idea. Neither do I care.